The sun hung low over the green river like a bloodshot eye, watching 10 men shove off in 3 battered boats that looked more like coffins than vessels. Major John Wesley Powell, one-armed from Shiloh, stood at the prow of the lead craft, his good hand gripping the oar like a promise. Behind him, his brother Walter glared at the world with the same fury he'd carried since Appomattox. Bill Dunn, the mountain man with scars older than most of the party, chewed tobacco and spat into the current. "This river don't give a damn about your maps, Major," he muttered. "It'll swallow us whole and never burp." They launched on May 24, 1869, into waters no white man had ever charted. The boat's Emma Dean, Kitty Clyde's sister, no name, bobbed like toys in a storm drain. Food was packed tight: bacon, flour, coffee, and a barrel of whiskey Dunn had insisted on bringing for medicinal purposes. Powell's dream was simple. Map the Colorado, prove the canyon wasn't a myth, claim glory for science and the Union. But glory has teeth. The first rapids hit like a slap from God. Water roared white and furious, slamming the boats against rocks that tore planks like paper. One craft spun, crashed, and flipped. Men screamed as they were flung into the foam. George Bradley, the quiet Confederate veteran, hauled 2 drowning souls to shore while bullets of spray stung his face. They lost supplies. Guns, blankets, half their food. Powell surveyed the wreckage, his empty sleeve flapping like a flag of surrender. "We press on," he said. No one argued. Yet. Days blurred into a hell of sun and shadow. The canyon walls rose 1,000 feet, red stone swallowing the sky. They portaged around drops that would shatter bone, muscles screaming, boots shredded. At night, campfires spat sparks while men whispered doubts. Orra Mulholland, the printer-turned-explorer, sketched maps by firelight, his hand shaking. "This ain't exploration," he said once. "It's suicide with scenery." Tension festered like an open wound. Walter Powell hated George Bradley on sight. Old war grudges die hard. One evening, Walter caught Bradley staring at the fire too long and drew his pistol. "You Rebs think you're better than us?" he snarled. Bradley didn't flinch. "I think we're all fools, same as you." Powell stepped between them, voice calm but steel-edged. "Save your bullets for the river." But the seed was planted. Then came the night the whiskey barrel surfaced. After another boat wreck, no name gone forever, the men salvaged what they could. Dunn found the barrel wedged in rocks, intact. He grinned like a wolf. "Medicine time, boys." They drank deep, laughing at first, then arguing. Voices rose. Accusations flew. Dunn, half-drunk, turned on Powell. "You promised an easy run. You said we'd be heroes by July. Look at us, starving, broke, lost in a grave dug by water." Powell stood firm. "We turn back now, we die unknown. We go forward, we live forever." Dunn laughed, bitter. "Forever's a long time when your belly's empty." The canyon deepened, walls closing like jaws. Rapids grew monstrous, lava falls, a churning nightmare where water dropped 20 feet in seconds. They lined the boats down ropes, men slipping on wet rock, one misstep from eternity. Jack Sumner, Powell's brother-in-law, broke his leg in a portage. Fever set in. They bound the wound with strips torn from shirts, but infection crept like a shadow. Hunger clawed deeper. They shot a bighorn sheep once, but the meat was tough and little. Fish were scarce. Coffee ran out. Men grew gaunt, eyes hollow. Dunn's mutterings turned to open threats. "Major's got one arm and no sense. We ought to take the boats, head back ourselves." Howland nodded in the dark. Others listened. One dawn, they woke to find 3 men gone: Dunn, Howland, and another slipped away in the night with guns and what food remained. They left a note scratched on a rock: "We choose life over madness." Powell read it aloud, voice cracking for the first time. "They think we'll die here." Walter cursed, wanted to hunt them down. Powell shook his head. "Let them go. We have enough ghosts already." The remaining 6 pushed on, boats lighter but hearts heavier. The river narrowed, walls towering black against stars. Waterfalls thundered unseen. They ran blind through slots where sunlight never reached, boats scraping stone like fingernails on a coffin lid. Bradley pulled double shifts at the oars, silent, steady. Sumner hobbled but refused to quit. Then the final drop came, a roar that shook the earth. They tied off above it, scouting from a ledge. Below, foam boiled white for a mile. No way around. No way back. Powell stared into the abyss. "This is it," he said. "The last gate." They ran it at dusk. Water slammed like cannon fire. Boats flipped, righted, flipped again. Men clung to gunwales, lungs burning. One boat wedged against a boulder, splintering. Bradley dove, cut ropes, freed it. They shot through the last chute, bodies bruised, spirits broken but alive. The canyon opened. Walls fell away. The river slowed, turned tame. They drifted into sunlight, weak, starving, but breathing free air. On August 30th, after 99 days and 1,000 miles, 6 men beached their battered craft near the Virgin River. They staggered ashore, collapsed in dust. Powell looked back at the red walls fading into haze. "We dared," he whispered. Word spread like wildfire. Newspapers called them heroes. Powell lectured, wrote books. But the 3 deserters? They never made it out. Paiutes found their bones later, picked clean. Some said Dunn pulled the trigger on his own companions in panic. Others said the desert did the job. No one knew for sure. The canyon kept its secrets. Years later, old men by campfires still spoke of the 10 who dared. Of the one-armed major who wouldn't turn back. Of the mutineer who chose the wrong path. Of the river that forgave nothing. And somewhere in the deep gorges, when the moon is full and water whispers over stone, you can still hear the echo of oars and the low growl of a man saying, "This river don't give a damn."